morning, and welcome to the 2022 Commencement exercises for the Catholic University of America's Columbus School of Law. My name is Catherine Crowley, and I am the Associate Dean for Student Affairs and Dean of Students. And it is truly my great honor and privilege to welcome you on this momentous day, to call to order and to serve as your MC for this ceremony. In a time that has been marked with much loss and distance from some of the occasions and the people we love most, we're particularly fortunate that today's event brings together our entire law school community. Graduates, alumni, faculty, staff, family, and friends, and returns our celebration indoors to a magnificent venue, the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception. To begin our proceedings, I ask everyone to please remain standing for the invocation to be delivered by Father Raymond O'Brien, an emeritus member of our law school faculty. Father O'Brien.
My sister, my brothers, let us pray. Dearest God, we assemble here today as men and women from different faiths and different beliefs, but we are one in praise and thanksgiving for what has been accomplished on this very day. We celebrate graduation, an achievement brought about by your grace freely given, the love, the vast support, and encouragement of our families and those who love us, and by we ourselves who rose to this challenge. Within this sacred basilica, adjacent to where Pope Francis canonized Father Junipero Serra in September 2015, we ask for your continued grace to guide us in our careers and our futures that await us. Touch our hearts with the fire of Pentecost and send us forth to live what we have learned as attorneys, citizens, and most of all, disciples of justice and of faith. Father, we ask this and all good things with humble faith in you, forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you, Father O'Brien. Please remain standing for the National Anthem, which will be delivered today by a member of the class of 2022, Olu Watomilola Ifo, I almost had it, Ifo Oluwa Lanlukin. Lola.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Oluwatomilola. That was absolutely beautiful. You may now be seated. And it is now my pleasure to introduce to you the law school's Dean and Knights of Columbus Professor of Law, Stephen Payne.
Thank you, Katie. Well, if you mistook my sweat for tears after Lola's rendition of our national anthem, you wouldn't be far off. I practiced my remarks for today in front of my son last night, 16 years old. And I got done and I asked him, what do you think? And he said, well, Dad, I'm currently studying John F. Kennedy's speech about going to the moon. And I'm memorizing St. John Henry Newman's poem, The Soul of Geontius. I'm not exactly in a position to give your remarks unqualified praise. So, but he did say, I am hopeful that, in your specific law community, people will appreciate your humor a little more than I can. So after being humbled by an annoyingly objective 16-year-old, and hopefully having lowered expectations sufficiently, I begin. President Garvey, Provost Dominguez, Judge Lagoa, members of the class of 2022, as we gather together today for our 133rd commencement, I want to thank all of the parents, other family members, and friends who helped our graduates get to this day. To say that it hasn't been easy is an embarrassing understatement. Let's please give the parents and family members and friends a hand in Thanksgiving. By the way, families and friends, despite all the lawyer jokes you've been telling our graduates, and it would be disingenuous not to admit that some of them are very funny, they are joining a profession that, with more Catholic University lawyers in it, can help ennoble the earth. And as I will describe shortly, I hope they'll see it that way. I'd also like to thank our school's faculty and staff for this day, quite literally for the organization of this ceremony, and for the Herculean effort they made and the astounding success they achieved in delivering one of the finest legal educations in the country under the trying circumstances of a global pandemic. Let's please give them a hand as well. This is President Garvey's last commencement with our law school as the president of the Catholic University of America. But he is and has been since he arrived 12 years ago a member of our law school faculty. As an acclaimed legal scholar, he served previously as the Dean of Boston College Law School and as a law professor for many years at the University of Notre Dame and the University of Kentucky, among other things. We look forward to having him teach at the law school after some well-deserved time away. But for now, I'd like to thank him for his extraordinary leadership of the university and for all of the support he has given me and the Columbus School of Law. Please join me in a round of applause for President Garvey. Finally, I'd ask our graduates who wear the cord of a veteran of our military services, other veterans in the audience, or our students who are headed into the military services to please stand. Wow. Thank you very much for your service. I can't help but find this day bittersweet. You full-time students and I started at this law school together. It was a big transition for all of us. We were in person. I'm glad we had that time together before the pandemic, and so thankful that I was able to see your faces again before you departed our law school. It was a joy to see again students like Katie Koopman-Jung, who sat every day in the same chair in the courtyard by the fountain, worrying that her applied legal studies final exam really had her number. I dare say we've enjoyed one another's company. At least I've enjoyed yours. I'll never forget, for example, the look on Kyle McElroy's face when he saw me in Murphy's at lunchtime on the first day of 1L classes. You see, he and a crew of our other students were having a beer before torts class. They relaxed when I agreed it was probably a good idea. And by then, of course, this is the first day of classes, by then, I was used to seeing Owen Salyers in Murphy's, and in fact, everywhere else. And if I ever had to participate in a softball home run derby, which, by the way, as the students should know, is not out of the question, without hesitation, I will invite Alexis Lucky Johnson back to pitch to me again. I'm grateful I was able to get to know many of our part-time students as well. Before we went out for the pandemic, of course, as I said before, we had about 8 months before we did that. We were in person, but the now fourth year evening students who are graduating had already been there for a year before I started. You're an extraordinary bunch too, and having excelled in, among other things, leadership roles that most other law schools reserve for their full-time students. For example, like Rebecca Green, who's been the editor-in-chief of our flagship law review. Lauren Van Thiel Irish, who's been the Law Review's executive editor. And you know that at least 2 evening students, Andy Gravitt and Joe Hurley, are graduating law school today without having missed a single class in 4 years. I can't say how that's possible, but I can say I would hire you. So the bitter part for me, my dear students, day and evening alike, is that I love you and I don't want you to go. I mean that so earnestly that when I first made a long list of ideas that I might want to mention today, that was the only thing I accidentally wrote down twice. But the sweet part is very sweet. An important part of my job is meeting with our alumni, and as I've gotten to know them, I've noticed some common characteristics of the lawyers who have attended our school. And I've no doubt that today this class finishes in the finest tradition of Catholic law graduates. We'll see how you do on the bar exam. But I do think you're a great example of what we're trying to achieve with the legal education we offer here, and you'll do great on the bar exam. Although I know I risk being perceived as prescriptive with what follows, your character, graduates, allows me to paint a portrait of the Catholic University lawyer that is, in fact, descriptive of some of the best qualities already rooted in you that await their full flourishing as you develop in the profession you're now joining. The Catholic University lawyer works hard. She knows there's no substitute for it because nothing has been handed to her. The Catholic University lawyer is resilient. He figured out how to survive law school or practice or life during a 100-year global pandemic. When he gets knocked down, he gets up again, learning how to become stronger through the suffering that strikes us all. He never thought it was going to be perfect in the first place, and so failure isn't a defeat for him. The Catholic University lawyer is resourceful. She has a job to do and finds a way to get it done. Tell her no, and she doesn't just reply yes, asserting will and power, but instead, how about we try it this way, which might be even better. Catholic University lawyer may be a lawyer of faith, seeking to live that out in the context of practicing law, or may not be, but generally maintains a healthy respect for religious freedom. The Catholic University lawyer cultivates his friendships from his time in law school. He's practical. After all, his classmates will be hiring lawyers and distributing business in the future. But he also realizes that he will never again have a community, except his own family and church, of such intense and good shared experience. It's a resource for life, and it's just a great good in itself. The Catholic University lawyer donates millions of dollars to her school. One hopes. In any event, she loves her school and offers a portion of her time, talents, and treasure for the benefit of the students who come after her, remembering what those students who went before did for her. I'd like to say that the Catholic University lawyer helps his school by filling out surveys on his job opportunities that are very important to our accreditation and reporting and ranking, but that would be a bit of a stretch, except for this class. You've cared enough already to become the first class anyone remembers that had a 100% response rate to the survey at graduation. May seem like a small thing, but it's important and it says something bigger. By the way, you beat the prior class by about 30%. That's so good it makes you a little weird. And I hope you're equally strange when we ask you again 10 months from now. The Catholic University lawyer is civil and kind. She respects the dignity of every person and remembers that every client, indeed every adversary, is a human being. And that more important than winning a case or an argument, though the Catholic University lawyer does everything ethical to win her case, is winning a friend. Our society seems to have forgotten that doing that with someone with whom you disagree about very important matters is a very special gift, bordering on the very ethical meaning of life. The Catholic University lawyer remembers the disadvantaged. He uses his legal education law degree to serve others, especially the least well-off. The Catholic University lawyer doesn't forget to ask why. It's easy as a lawyer, trust me, to get caught up in the immediate, to lose oneself in the details and the cause. One needs to be fully present in the moment, but only after reflection on what it all means, and again, only before reflection on what it all means. The continuing contemplation of the source of all wisdom, all justice, all goodness, truth, and beauty, this can be an anchor for a lawyer, for anyone in a challenging world. Please remember that your law school can be an anchor for you in the midst of a challenging career. We're here for you. We're really glad you're ours. And we're excited for you as you begin a new phase of life. Study hard for the bar. God bless you and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Jean Payne. It is now my pleasure to introduce and welcome to the podium a member of the class of 2022, Tim Richard, who was selected to address his classmates today. Tim?
Thank you, Dean Crowley. Before I begin my remarks today, it's my honor and privilege to acknowledge the 2022 Class Marshal, Professor Elizabeth Kirk. The class of 2022 selected Professor Kirk to read our names today as we cross the altar to receive our degrees. This honor is given by our class as a way to thank Professor Kirk for inspiring, guiding, and challenging us. On behalf of the entire class of 2022, Professor Kirk, thank you. Will you please stand? President Garvey, Provost Domingo, Dean Payne, Judge Lagoa, faculty and staff, family and friends, and most importantly, class of 2022. Take a breath. We made it. As we celebrate today, I want to reflect on 4 very important dates to our class: August 14th, March 11, August 23, and May 20. August 14th, 2018 and 2019. Conveniently, for both the day and evening divisions, this was the day we held our orientation, August 14th, just 1 year apart. Shout out to Dean Crowley for consistency. When we arrived that day, against the advice of so many telling us, don't go to law school, we knew what stood before us: 87 credits. Within those 87 credits, we'd study our bar staples, like civil procedure and torts. We'd learn how to write. We'd pursue our interests through classes like securities regulation or the delightfully named anatomy of a homicide for the criminally inclined. On the practical side, each of us would complete hands-on training, either through the clinics or in an externship, a real-life opportunity to tell people, I'm not a lawyer, but I do play one on TV. On August 14th, we also received some words of wisdom. Life doesn't stop because you're in law school. Looking back, that very well may have been the best advice we received, as we struggled to learn the elements of a battery, to make our LSP briefs just that much shorter to comply with the page limit, or commiserated on Thursday evenings at the Pint. We developed some incredible relationships with our peers. I believe the medical term for those relationships is trauma bonding, but I'm not a physician. I just have a JD, or at least in a few minutes. Those relationships kept us sane when, in the midst of law school, life didn't stop. Together we celebrated birthdays, weddings, and welcomed little ones into the world. Together we also mourned the loss of loved ones and consoled each other through the lowest points. Life did not stop because we were in law school. Rather, we took on life with additional challenges. March 11, 2020. Perhaps the biggest challenge of all came on March 11th, when, in the midst of spring break, President Garvey announced that classes would be moved online until at least March 30, 2020. Little did we know that at least March 30, 2020 actually meant August 23rd, 2021. That's 530 days that we spent online. Over the course of a 3-year law school education, from orientation to today, we would experience 1,005 days. 530 of ours, over half, was spent online. During those days, in addition to our 87 credits, we shouldered the additional burdens of worrying about family and friends, keeping up with the ever-changing COVID guidance and school. And we even became tech support for ourselves and occasionally our professors. Now, I can't say everything about online learning was horrible. For instance, Dean Leary, I'm not sure if I would have passed your evidence exam if it was an open book. August 23rd, 2021. Returning to campus, we began our final year, but it was unique in a number of regards. We returned to regularly scheduled random COVID tests that occurred every 3 weeks. Many of us didn't recognize each other, either because of the masks or because we'd only ever seen each other on little Zoom boxes, and that assumes we had our camera on during class. For some, it was the first time they'd ever been to campus. For others, it was the first time they'd been since March 2020. In fact, many of us haven't returned to our lockers on the first floor. Dean Osborne, when renovations begin next week, have some hazmat gear ready. Who knows what's been left down there for the last 2 years. This return also allowed us to resume law school traditions, like losing softball to the faculty under questionable rules interpretations and barrister's balls. The things that make Catholic law, Catholic law. And today, May 20, 2022. Today, those 87 credits are complete. We made it. Today's also unique in that it's the only other time we'll gather as a class. The last time we did this was at orientation, August 14th, 2019. That morning, we received our Blue Books, our Lexis and Westlaw logins. Almost 3 years later, or 4 for the evening students, I'm certain many of us can remember the nerves and the daunting task which lay ahead. Dean Payne, then a newly minted law dean, took us through the typical law school orientation exercise. Look to your left, look to your right. One of you won't make it to graduation. What a humbling way to begin the law school experience. That evening, we each took an oath administered by Judge Anderson. I, Timothy Armando Richard, do solemnly swear or affirm that to the best of my ability, I'll be professional and ethical in all that I do as a member of the community of the Columbus School of Law. I will treat all persons whom I encounter with fairness, integrity, and civility. And I will strive to use my knowledge and skills to advance society, improve the quality of justice, and increase access to justice for all. In that oath, we're not only challenged to treat each other with dignity and civility, but to use our legal education, our many talents, for the good. And we've lived up to just that. We've completed thousands of hours of pro bono work. We've aided immigrants and families. We've helped small businesses and Fortune 500 companies alike. We've served on both sides of criminal prosecution and at every level of government. From the Hill to the alphabet soup of agencies to judges' chambers across the country. 1,005 days ago, or more, we took an oath to use our skills to make society better. Through the struggles of law school, the struggles of life, and the struggles of a pandemic, we've done just that. In a few months, we'll take a similar oath as we're admitted to the bar as attorneys, and we take ownership of a new title, Esquire. But that's all in the future. Right now, in this moment, as the class of 2022, think about everything you've accomplished. Think about all those nerves on that first day. And please look to your left, look to your right. All of us, we made it to graduation. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Tim. I think I speak on behalf of the entire faculty and staff when I say that we all very much look forward to continuing to defeat future generations of law students at the annual softball game. At this time, I invite President John Garvey, the 15th President of the Catholic University of America, and Dean Payne to escort Judge Barbara Lagoa, our commencement speaker, to the center stage of the altar. I also invite Professor Mark Rienzi to the podium to read the citation for Judge Lagoa.
The late Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia once said, "I think it is up to the judge to say what the Constitution provided, even if what it provided is not the best answer, even if you think it should be amended. If that's what it says, that's what it says." It is this reverence for the law, this judicial humility, for which we honor Judge Barbara Lagoa today. Judge Lagoa was appointed to the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals in 2019 by President Donald Trump and confirmed by the United States Senate. Prior to that, she had become the first Hispanic woman and first Cuban-American woman appointed to the Florida Supreme Court. Judge Lagoa rose to that position after having served on Florida's 3rd District Court of Appeal since 2006, concluding her tenure there as Chief Judge. Before she was appointed to the bench, Judge Lagoa practiced with the international law firm of Greenberg Traurig, where she handled cases in a variety of commercial and employment contexts. Following her time in private practice, Judge Lagoa joined the United States Attorney's Office as Assistant United States Attorney for the Southern District of Florida in 2003. During that time, she drew cases from the civil, major crimes, and appellate sections, and her work included numerous criminal and jury trials, as well as appeals. A Miami native, Judge Lagoa attended Florida International University, where she earned a Bachelor of Arts cum laude in English in 1989. She was a member of the Phi Kappa Phi Honor Society. She received her Juris Doctor from Columbia University School of Law in 1992, where she served as associate editor of the Columbia Law Review. In addition to her many legal accomplishments, Judge Lagoa is a dedicated member of her community. She has served on the board of directors for the YWCA of Greater Miami-Dade County. She has also served on the board of Christie House, a children's advocacy center dedicated to eradicating child abuse and child sex trafficking. She has received numerous awards and honors, including the Judicial Leadership Award from the National Hispanic Bar Foundation, the Rosemary Barquette Award for Judicial Excellence from the American Inns of Court, the Florida International University Medallion of Honor Outstanding Alumna Award, and Women Making History Miami-Dade Chapter, Florida Association of Women Lawyers. At a press conference for her appointment to the Florida Supreme Court, Judge Lagoa said this of her judicial philosophy: "I am particularly mindful of the fact that under our constitutional system, it is for the legislature and not the judges to make the law. It is the role of judges to apply, not to alter, the work of the people's representatives. And it is the role of judges to interpret our Constitution and statutes as they are written." For her distinguished career as a lawyer and jurist and her dedicated service to her community, the Catholic University of America is proud to bestow upon Judge Barbara Lagoa the degree Doctor of Law, honoris causa. President Garvey, please come to the podium to confer the honorary degree.
By virtue of the authority committed to me as President of the Catholic University of America, I'm pleased to confer upon Judge Lagoa the honorary degree for which he has been presented, as recommended by me and authorized by the Board of Trustees. Congratulations, Your Honor.
Thank you, President Garvey, Provost Dominguez, and Dean Payne for inviting me to speak here today. And thank you for conferring this award, this honorary degree on me. I am deeply, deeply humbled by this invitation and this honorary degree. Good morning to the Associate Deans, faculty, university and law school administrators, trustees, alumni, family, friends, and of course, the class of 2022. It's such an honor and a privilege to be here with you on this day of celebration. Today is a celebration for Catholic University's Columbus School of Law's class of 2022. A day to recognize your achievements and celebrate reaching the finish line and obtaining your law degree. You can't sue anyone yet though, okay? You haven't passed the bar. But while I recognize that we're here to applaud those of you who will be receiving your Juris Doctorate degrees, I would be remiss not to recognize those who share also in the graduate's glory. And I refer, of course, to the parents, the spouses, and the significant others who've helped you reach this milestone. Congratulations to you as well. Now remember, though, that they still have to study for the bar, so good luck with that. Graduations are unique among the milestones of our lives. They celebrate our past accomplishments while also anticipating our future. And the future at times can be quite surprising. As some of you may know, I'm the product of the Catholic parochial school system. And trust me, that little girl who attended Immaculate Conception Elementary School in Hialeah, Florida, would not have believed that she would be here today, presenting a commencement speech in this beautiful and sacred basilica dedicated to Our Lady, the Blessed Virgin Mary, the patroness of the United States under her title of the Immaculate Conception. I'm occasionally asked by law students and young lawyers, what's your formula for success? The short answer, of course, is there is no formula. So much depends on the working of providence in your life. But there are 6 points I'd like to highlight today that I believe will help you succeed in both your personal and professional lives. 1, change is inevitable. When I graduated from law school, I had everything planned out. My roadmap to success was in place. All I had to do was execute on it. Very simple. But I was wrong. I was very wrong. Because change in life is inevitable. My life did not follow the path that I mapped out for myself when I was 24. There have been many highs, but there have also been many challenges that I could not have foreseen when I started out as a young woman in the law. Life is not a straight line. Today, your life will change. While you still need to study for the bar, by this same time next year, most of you will be practicing lawyers, or perhaps you'll be using your law degree in a different way, in business, politics, real estate, perhaps teaching. The one certainty that you all share today is change. But inevitably, you will all be confronted by something that forces you to change your plans, something that forces you to adapt, reverse course, or regroup. The question then is, how do you handle change when it happens? The good news is that you, the class of 2022, have a head start on that, adapting to change. To say that you've been through a lot while earning your law degree is sort of an understatement. You navigated a once-in-a-100-year pandemic. You adapted to online classes, to limited social interactions, to a depressing news cycle, all while handling rigorous and demanding legal studies. The fact that you're here today receiving your diploma is a testament to your character and your ability to handle adversity. Until you are tested by adversity, you will not know the true test of your character. And character is often destiny. As Winston Churchill said, plans are of little importance, but planning is essential. So take your strength of character and your ability to adapt to unforeseen change and incorporate them into your planning going forward. As I said, you already have a leg up on that. Be ready to face the next chapter of your life because you adapted to change and forged ahead to get to where you are today. You are a strong group. This brings me to my second point. Appreciate the present. This is your moment. You've made it through so much in the last 3 years. Take a step back and appreciate this moment and all that you've accomplished. Too often, law school, law careers, and life in general is centered on reaching for the next brass ring. It becomes far too easy not to appreciate the present, the here and the now. That's a natural tendency. 4 years ago, you were focused on getting into law school. Then in law school, you were focused on getting good grades, writing on a journal, getting a summer internship, or all of the above. This tendency to focus on the next prize will continue after school ends. We live in a competitive society and in a very competitive profession. You'll soon be focused on getting a judicial clerkship, a promotion, making partner, landing the next best deal, landing the next case. All of that is completely understandable. Indeed, we're human, subject to temptation. But I'm here to ask you today to acknowledge or at least try to resist the constant hunt for the next best thing. Today, and in other moments of your life, step back and appreciate your present. Don't lose sight of the present for the future. Take a moment to look around this beautiful space. Soak it in. You are only in this moment once. This is a beautiful space. Look at it. It's absolutely stunning. This brings me to my third point. The race is long. Towards the end of his life, St. Paul wrote, "I have competed well, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith." Ancient words with such relevance to our contemporary lives. The practice of law, like life, is a marathon, not a sprint. I realized during my first job out of law school that there is no easy way to get from point A to point B. There are no shortcuts in our profession. It requires commitment, hard work, patience, and perseverance. So hone your skills. Take the time to learn your craft. Find mentors to train you in your legal skills and your professional responsibilities. And with regards to professional responsibilities, Remember that reputation is everything. And once you lose it, it's gone. Trust me when I tell you that judges know that when certain lawyers tell us it's raining outside, we do not need to look out the window to make sure. And never, never let anyone limit you. That is such a waste of your time. And even in a marathon, you do not need to waste your time. And don't waste your time living someone else's life. Be true to yourself, listen to your gut, and follow the path that is right for you. So compete well, finish the race, and keep the faith. This brings me to my fourth point. Be strong. Fortitude is one of the gifts of the Holy Spirit. Firmness in difficulties and constancy in the pursuit of the good. Or as Saint Pope John Paul II said often, be not afraid. As a lawyer, don't be afraid to go outside of your comfort zone and do something you're not ready to do. You'll learn a great deal about yourself by pushing and challenging yourself. You may learn that you can do something you didn't think you could, or you may learn what your limits are. Both are valuable lessons. But you will only learn them if you have the strength to take that step in the first place and keep pushing yourself through your career. And don't be afraid to take risks or chances because you think you might fail or you think the timing is imperfect. I'm here to tell you, timing is never perfect. And life has no guarantees. Sometimes when the door opens, it only opens once, and you can't be afraid to go through. At some point, especially if you're pushing yourself, the law of averages predicts that you will fall. When you stumble, remember this: there is no such thing as failure. Failure is just a course adjustment. I have learned the most from my defeats. My biggest legal defeat taught me a valuable lesson about the paramount importance of the rule of law that has served me well today. This brings me to my fifth point. Be kind. It's easy for us lawyers to think very highly of ourselves. After all, we've made it through 7 years of higher education. We wear suits, we carry briefcases, and some of us wear robes. And some of that can lead to bad behavior. Many lawyers experience cases where extensions of time are routinely opposed, nasty letters exchanged, and discovery disputes drag on unnecessarily. We all know this is not how professional life should be, but it seems harder to discern a path from what is to what should be. Try to remind yourself, even when it's difficult, of the dignity of each human being, even your most difficult opposing counsel. And remember that none of us is perfect, and that we ourselves can contribute or exacerbate a difficult situation sometimes. So don't forget to step back, take a breath, and be kind. It will pay dividends. And finally, my sixth point. Say yes. The beauty about the law is that every case is different, and every subject area has its own doctrines to master. As a judge, I get the benefit of handling cases that range from free speech to securities regulation, from religious freedom to federalism, from civil procedure to search and seizure. I love the variety and I love the challenge. And I believe the same is true for all of you. You are an intellectually curious bunch, and you chose the law because you're hungry to learn. And law school teaches you how to think about problems in a particular way. Don't lose that curiosity when you leave the gates of this university. Say yes to new types of work and new experiences in the law. And while many of you may have an idea of what you want to do, some of you may be 100% certain that you want to be federal public defenders or you want to be prosecutors. and some of you are certain that you want to do transactional work. Whatever you think you want to do now, please don't forget to say yes. Say yes to new opportunities that present themselves. You may find that when you say yes, you may end up liking and may actually be good at that new opportunity. So say yes. I know it sounds very simple, almost simplistic, right? But I will tell you that when I received this invitation to speak at this commencement ceremony, I almost said no. I can't. I'm too busy. I have so much work. There's no possible way that I can do this. And as my law clerk, Cooper Godfrey, who's here today, can verify, this is the first time in a long time that I've had a break, a small respite from caseload. But then I realized you need to be open to saying yes. Yes to new opportunities, yes to new experiences. And then I learned where I would be giving this commencement speech. We are gathered here today in this cathedral that is dedicated to the woman who said yes. So there you have it, class of 2022. 6 points to live by. Change is inevitable. Appreciate the present. Remember, the race is long. Be strong, be kind, and say yes. If you remember just those 6 things, I promise you that you will turn out just fine in life and as a lawyer. I wish you all much success and happiness. Remember, there's no definitive roadmap to success. Ultimately, it's about judgment and choice. God bless you all. Go forth and set the world on fire.
Thank you, Judge Lagoa. We very much appreciate your service as our commencement speaker and your very thoughtful remarks today to our graduates. Little diversion, I don't mean to argue with my friend Tim Richard, the esteemed class speaker, but I am a lawyer. And so, Tim, you made me sound a little cruel the first day of orientation. I have to defend myself. And I didn't actually say, look to your left, look to your right. One of these students will not be with you at graduation, actually. I used that stereotype to say, look to your left, look to your right. Both of these students are likely to be with you at graduation and likely to become lifelong friends, and that's what makes us different. Now, I was new. As it turns out, the numbers are kind of on Tim's side. So that's what makes what we're about to do particularly special as a signal, as an emblem of your incredible achievement over the last 3 and 4 years. Now that the moment has arrived for the conferral of degrees, it's my honor to invite President John Garvey back to the podium. Will the graduates please rise for the conferral of degrees earned in course? After President Garvey has conferred your degrees, you'll be directed to come up to receive your diploma. President Garvey, as the Dean of the Columbus School of Law, it is my privilege to present candidates for the degree Juris Doctor who have been recommended by the faculty and approved by the Academic Senate. President Garvey.
By virtue of the authority committed to me as President of the Catholic University of America, I'm pleased to confer upon each of you the Juris Doctor degree for which you have been individually recommended by the Law School and by the Academic Senate. I extend my personal congratulations and the university's to each of you.
Graduates, you may now come forward to be hooded and to receive your diplomas. Professor Elizabeth Kirk, our class marshal, will call the names of the graduates. As your name is called by Professor Kirk, please step forward to be hooded by our Assistant Dean for Academic Services and our Registrar, much beloved, Stuart Shept, to be congratulated by President Garvey, and then to Dean Payne to receive your diploma and pause for a photograph. Professor Kirk.
Kathleen Helen Koopman Jung, cum laude. Owen Aishan Salyers, cum laude. Lauren Van Thiel Irish, cum laude. Jada Houghton. Nikita Sujit Vasudevan. Rebecca Susan Green. Daniel Tig Bagley Jr., magna cum laude. Frankie Orico, summa cum laude. Beverly Rose Diaz. Henry Joseph Urban. Nasim Nina Amadi. Maria Haralambos Athanasakis. Alvaro Nawel Onyon.
There we go.
Abigail Christine Beckman, cum laude. Kelly Bleichner. Megan L. Boyce. Victoria Stockton Breeze, magna cum laude. Rachel Marie Carlo, magna cum laude. Michael Clancy. Taylor Lauren Knight Costanzo, cum laude. Sarah Michelle Dow. Kennedy Margaret Davis, cum laude. Joshua S. Dean. Megan Michelle Donahue, cum laude. Chloe Marie Dopico. Rebecca Ware Dermashkin, cum laude. Patricia Solange Drennan, cum laude. Colleen Emily Farley. Caitlin Sharon Fisher. Esteban Sebastian Flodine Garcia. Olivia Lynn Gibson, cum laude. Ricardo Daniel Gomez. Andrew Paul Gravitt. Lisel O. Gregg. Michael B. Hadley. David Poole Horner. Christopher Andrew Huff, cum laude. Lindsay Taylor Hugel. Daniel Scott Hughes. Joseph Michael Hurley. Christopher Thomas Hutton. Kimberly Dolores Jean Hyland. Benjamin Idzik. Michael A. James, cum laude. Karima Yvette Janae. Alexis Marie Johnson. James Michael Calavritanos, cum laude. Joseph Charles Kane, cum laude. Ferena Kanzi. Tabitha M. Kemp, cum laude. Daniel Kim. Nina S. Kimmel, cum laude. Oluwatomilola Ifeoluwa Lanlikin. Devin Ronald Latuga. Kelly Louise Lachlan, magna cum laude. Matthew James Little. Kendra Lee Lobbin, summa cum laude. Patrick Lowe. Hans Meyerhoff Lynn, cum laude. Alexandra Divany Mack, magna cum laude. Michelle Christine Maffeo. Christina Makarova, magna cum laude. Ritika R. Melkani, cum laude. Timothy J. Mannion. Sarah Christine Manning. Joshua S. Matthews. Amy McClintock. Kyle Joseph McElroy. Anthony Nicholas Minute. Andrew Robert Nam Mitchell. Alexander Thomas Moretta. Victoria Faith Murphy, summa cum laude. Sarah Mackenzie Nelson. Carrie Elizabeth O'Donnell. Danielle Carolina Orr. Harkaran Panasar. Jerome Perez, Juris Doctorate and Masters of Social Work. Gerald P. Phillips IV. Mary Kathleen Pinto. Tiffany M. Purvis. Piero Gonzalez Quiros Olivares. Jesse Miller Rains, summa cum laude. Sean Randolph. Megan Caroline Rappolt. Alexander Regis. Timothy Armando Richard, cum laude. Isabella Grace Richardson. Jessica Ann Russo, cum laude. Vincent Peter Sarubi Jr., cum laude. Allie Catherine Sowers. Tyler M. Shera. Tamara D. Smith. Abigail Jean Snelling. Samantha Lauren Snyder. Alyssa Nicole Stavinsky. Kendall Strachan, cum laude. Emily Sam Thomas. Joanne Sarah Thomas. Emily Dorothy Totoro, cum laude. Thomas J. Tutoni, cum laude. Jordan Kelly Taylor Villegas. Justin Lee Wedgwood, cum laude. Bridget Margaret White, magna cum laude. Amy E. Witzel. Mercedes Erin Wilson Barthez, cum laude. Shelby Alice Wood. Well done.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I was supposed to introduce or present the class to you all now. I think you've taken care of that for me. Consider them presented, and congratulations, graduates. I'm now delighted to welcome Senior Associate Dean for Academic Affairs and Professor of Law, Mary Graw-Leary, to the podium for the presentation of the John L. Garvey Faculty Awards.
The faculty named this award in honor of John L. Garvey, Professor Emeritus, recognizing his 49 years of dedicated service to the law school as dean, teacher, scholar, and colleague. These awards recognize outstanding academic achievement during the law school course of study and are conferred upon graduates from the part-time and full-time division. The John L. Garvey Faculty Award for the student with the highest academic average in the evening division is presented to Victoria Murphy. Please come to the stage using the center staircase. Congratulations, Victoria. This year, the John L. Garvey Faculty Award for highest academic average in the day division is presented to 2 students with the exact same grade point average. Our first recipient of the John L. Garvey Faculty Award in the day division is to Frankie Orico. And our next recipient of the John L. Garvey Faculty Award in the day division is Jessie Rains. Congratulations to Victoria, Frankie, and Jessie.
Thank you, Dean Graw-Leary. In 1965, Michael Curtin graduated from the Columbus School of Law with a passion for probate law and trust and estate planning and litigation, but also a dedication to the service of others. The range of his pro bono work and the significant time he volunteered in the causes of justice, compassion, and opportunity for all set a new standard for what it means to serve others, particularly the law school and the legal profession. In 2008, in recognition of his outstanding service, the law school established the Michael F. Curtin Pro Bono Awards to recognize students in the law school who embody Mr. Curtin's commitment to serving others by providing critical legal services. We are so fortunate today to have Mr. Curtin here with us to present the Pro Bono Awards. Mr. Curtin, would you please come to the podium?
Thank you, Dean Crowley. I believe it is safe to say that the entire law school community is very proud of this class of 2022. This class has demonstrated its commitment to ensuring access to justice through its commitment to the pro bono work of the school and beyond. This class, as a group, has dedicated more than 10,000 hours of pro bono service during its time here at the law school. Congratulations to all of you. The Michael F. Curtin Pro Bono Award is awarded annually to a law student from both the day and evening divisions who achieved Catholic Law School's highest ideals through extraordinary pro bono service to others. These students volunteered their time to many pro bono organizations, serving thousands of individuals while also dedicating themselves to service to the law school community. I am proud to announce that the 2022 Day Division recipient of the Michael F. Curtin Pro Bono Award is Sarah Manning. Sarah, using the center stairs, would you please come up? In recognition of her dedication to pro bono service, it is my pleasure to present Emily Thomas with the 2022 Michael F. Curtin Pro Bono Award for the Evening Division. Emily, using the center stairs, please come forward to accept your award. Congratulations to Sarah and Emily and the entire class of 2022.
Our next presenter embodies alumni commitment and dedication to the Columbus School of Law by serving as the president of our Alumni Council. Ariel Giordano graduated from the law school in 2015 and serves as the managing director for federal and state government affairs at Canadian Pacific Railway. She will now present the Alumni Association Awards to both the day and evening division student.
Good afternoon. My name is Ariel Giordano, and I am president of the Alumni Council. And I would like to be the first person to say two things to you. One, welcome to the greatest alumni community of any law school. I'm so happy to have all of you join. And two, I'm gonna be the first person that asks you for a donation, so you could check your emails in about 1 hour. I'm just kidding. All joking aside, I do have the distinct honor and privilege to present the Law School Alumni Association Award. The Law School Alumni Association Award was established in 1978 and recognizes a graduating student from both the evening and day divisions. The recipient has not only excelled in academic work, but has actively participated in extracurricular activities, co-curricular activities, and has contributed to the law school community in special ways. May I please ask the recipients to join me at the podium by way of the center stairs? They know who they are, don't they? No. Oh, wow. Well, that was the wrong thing. I'm sorry about that. I'm reading out of order, apparently. On behalf of the Law School Alumni Association, we're proud to present the Evening Division Award to Lauren Van Thiel Irish. Now will you come up to center, please? In recognition of his unwavering commitment to Catholic University and his fellow students, we are delighted to bestow the Day Division Award to Owen Aishin Salyers. Congratulations to both Lauren and Owen. And please join the Alumni Council. Since you got those awards, I'm going to twist your arm a little bit. So, several graduates today are following in the footsteps of members of their families who are alumni of the Columbus School of Law and members of the CUA community. So I would like to present our All in the Family list for the graduating class of 2022. I ask our alumni and graduates who are here with us today to stand as your name is called. Rebecca Dormashkin, who's wife of Mark Dormashkin, class of 2018, please stand up. Patricia Drennan, who is daughter of Joseph Drennan, class of 1981. Please stand up. Isabella Richardson, granddaughter of the late William Richardson, class of 1942. And last, Henry Urban, brother of Cara Marie Urban, class of 2020. Cara, you gotta stand up. There we go. Congratulations to the entire class of 2022 and welcome to the Catholic Law Alumni Association.
Now, as Dean of the Law School, it is my privilege to speak for the entire faculty and staff to extend our congratulations and fond wishes to our graduates in the class of 2022 for a future of achievement, service, and fulfillment. We will always be here for you as a professional home, so please keep in close touch. It's now my honor and privilege to invite the University President, John Garvey, back to the podium to address the class of 2022.
Thank you. Judge Lagoa, honored guests, mothers and fathers, spouses, family members, and graduates of the class of 2022. It's my privilege to say a few words before the end of the ceremony. And I want to say a couple of sentences about a virtue I've come to admire in old people. My grandfather, who lived to be 95, had it in abundance. You could tell him anything, your most embarrassing faults, and he could see right past them to the person you aspired to be. He never lost sight of your good qualities, and people loved to sit with him for this reason. With a smile and a look in his eye, he communicated to you the feeling that you were the most interesting, the smartest, funniest, most admirable person he had ever met. I thought I had him fooled. It was hard to get that kind of affirmation from other people because they could see through me, but Grandfather took me at face value, I thought. In the last decade, I've come to understand that he looked right through me, and he still loved what he saw. This is the virtue I have in mind. The old writers call it benignity. Francis Arias, a Spaniard Jesuit received into the Society of Jesus just about 3 years after St. Ignatius died, wrote a treatise on the subject. Here's how he described it. There are men, he said, who in very truth have the essential part of the virtue of charity with their neighbors. both friends and enemies, both wishing them good and performing it to them, but yet they are austere and sharp in their conversation and dry and untoward in performing the very good which they do. The virtue of benignity, he said, doth cure and heal a man of all these defects. In more modern language, we'd call it kindness, as the prophet Micah does, or this is Judge Lagoa's fifth point. It's not charity, but the way we perform it. You may wonder why I've chosen this occasion to deliver a message about a familiar, but let's be honest, second string virtue. It's not up there with the big guys: faith, hope, charity, fortitude, justice. The reason is this: it's a virtue that budding lawyers need to cultivate. We've taught you for 3 years to make clear and correct judgments about what acts are legal, right, good, and just, and what are their opposites. If we've done our job well, this habit of thinking has become second nature, and this is a good thing. We need lawyers to make and enforce rules that keep society functioning smoothly. But you must guard against extending this habit from acts to people. Your clients may be people who have done bad acts. Your opponents may be lawyers, judges, politicians who see matters of concern to you in the wrong light. That is not all they are. You should try always to look right through them and still love them for what they are. Keep this modest lesson in mind the first time you're tempted to make a sharp reply or a harsh judgment. If you can cultivate this homely little virtue, you will soon become everybody's favorite counselor. Now I have a last word for you. Enjoy yourselves this weekend. You've been in school almost 20 years, some of you continuously, and it's now time to leave. But it's been a lovely place to be, and you should enjoy the last few moments before you step out. God bless you all, and the best of luck in your careers.
Thank you, President Garvey. I now ask everyone to rise, please, for the benediction, which will be delivered by our Associate Campus Minister for Graduate and Professional Students, Sister Ruth Harkins. Sister Ruth?
As we come to the end of this celebration and these achievements, we take a moment to appreciate this present moment. God of justice, each day you call us, in the words of the prophet Micah, to act justly, to love tenderly, and to walk humbly with our God. God of mercy, grant that these women and men, graduates of the Columbus School of Law at the Catholic University of America, may always be trustworthy with confidences, able in argument, accurate in analysis, correct in conclusion, strict in study, loyal to clients, courteous and kind with their adversaries, honest with all, and ever attentive to their conscience. We pray that these advocates of justice and truth will continue to be filled with the many gifts of your Spirit: friendship and courage, cheerfulness and charity, diligence and wisdom, counsel in adversity, and patience for the marathon. May God's blessing follow you as you find new journeys to travel. May you walk safely along the pathways of your dreams. May his gentle hand guide the decisions you will make and the passions that you will follow in your heart. May your heart and lives always reflect the love and truth of God, and may hope be a light within you that you carry into each new day. And finally, we entrust these new graduates to the care of Mary, the mirror of justice, that in all they say and do, they may reflect your love and justice for all people. We pray, amen.
Congratulations once again to our graduates and to your families and friends. I ask the audience to remain in place until the faculty and our graduates have recessed out of the shrine. And of course, we invite you all to join us for a reception in honor of the graduates on the law school lawn. I now declare this academic convocation for the 2022 commencement of the Columbus School of Law officially concluded. Congratulations.